The Everglades is a complex water system located in the southern part of Florida. The 2 million-acre water system originates from the Kissimmee River and flows south to Lake Okeechobee. The Everglades were created by the Kissimmee River overflowing its banks, forming a slow-flowing river passing through a unique range of habitats, creating a full, diverse ecosystem through the heart of the Everglades, home to an abundance of wildlife living in the freshwater swamps, marshland, and sawgrass that make up the Everglades. The alligator. The American alligator is a well-known animal in the Everglades. An adult female can reach lengths of 8.2 feet, unlike the exceptionally large males that can reach an average size of 11.2 feet and weigh around 1,000 pounds. Both male and female have armored bodies with a muscular flat tail to protect themselves from predators and deadly threats. The average lifespan of an alligator is up to 50 years in the wild. Alligators have a long snout that is upward facing, so it is possible to breathe while lying with their body underwater. The young can be distinguished from the adults by bright yellow stripes on their tails, while adults have dark stripes. Alligators are carnivores with strong, powerful jaws that can crack the hardest turtle shells. They can consume shallow-standing birds, mammals, frogs, and sea creatures such as fish, snails, and other invertebrates. Alligators use their sharp teeth to seize and hold their prey, spinning on the long axis of their body to tear and swallow pieces of the prey. The Everglades are home to hundreds of different species. Over 350 types of birds can be found in the Everglades National Park alone. The Everglades is known for its many wading birds, including the great egrets and smaller birds like the common gallinule. The great egret is a tall, long-legged wading bird with a long S-curved neck and a long dagger-like bill. In flight, the long neck is tucked in and the legs extend far beyond the tip of the short tail. This helps with balance and speed when in flight. The feathers on the great egrets are white, with yellowish bills and black legs. Egrets wade in shallow water to hunt fish, frogs, and other aquatic animals. Great egrets fly slowly but powerfully. With just 2 wing beats per second, their cruising speed is around 25 miles per hour. A common small bird in the Everglades is the gallinule. They habitat in marshes and ponds. They have long toes that make it easy to walk on soft mud and floating vegetation. They have dark and white flank stripes, a red bill and forehead. They swim on the surface of the water like a duck. Along with a diverse range of animals, the Everglades is home to a number of different trees and plants that create this unique, diverse habitat. Cattails have stems that are 9 feet long, with leaves like blades that are stiff and sheathed together at the base to appear flattered. They are sharp as a knife and stand tall in the waters. They are a native plant to Florida, but can become a nuisance because they proliferate in areas with high levels of nutrients. Sawgrass is a plant that has flourished throughout the Everglades, becoming an invasive plant. Found in all areas and flourishing at a rapid rate, this plant will soon cover the entire landscape of the Everglades. The bald cypress tree, the most flood-tolerant of all Floridian tree species, growing in areas flooded with water for long periods of time and surrounded by marshlands. There are 2 species of cypress trees. The bald cypress tree can grow up to 120 feet tall, living 600 years in age. They are well adapted to wet conditions along riverbanks and swamps. The pond cypress tree is typically more isolated than the bald cypress tree. However, both trees need to have a dry period in order to have successful seed sprouting and survival. Paragrass is native to tropical locations in Africa. It can thrive in both semi-aquatic situations and on deep soils in non-swampy areas. The stems are hollow, robust, and sprout new roots wherever nodes touch the ground. The leaf blades are usually hairy, dark green, and up to 15 centimeters long and less than 1 centimeter wide. This plant grows aggressively in low-lying engraved areas such as the Everglades. The Everglades have been a victim to human development, which has caused the Everglades to shrink to half its size since the 1800s, destroying habitats and being the cause of extinction for many animals in the process. This has caused a throwing off of the balance of nature due to predators and prey living in the same area of the Everglades. The biggest change that happened is to the waterways changing from the natural flow to a forced waterway structure. Built to supply the development lands with water pumping, this has caused there to be a rise in pollution. The new water has created easy access for the trash and debris to float into the steady moving river. Humans have caused damage to the Everglades over the past 200 years. The most recent threat to the wildlife is caused by the non-native species. Thriving on the heat and prey living in the Everglades, these exotic animals make their way to Florida on plants, trees, and fruits brought to the land, causing great damage to the native animals, destroying the delicate ecosystem at an ever-increasing rate. Damage done by trees. Invasive species are a threat to the Everglades. It causes the land to become out of balance, meaning the animals and plants are struggling to survive. The most invasive things in the Everglades are its plants. Invasive is where something takes over and cannot be controlled, causing damage to the surroundings. One plant that is taking over the Everglades slowly is the sawgrass. Sawgrass has been dubbed the river of grass. It is one plant that has been taking over the land for years and is now having to be controlled by humans in order to save the natural beauty. If this weed was left to flourish upon its natural path, the Everglades would soon be destroyed by this ever-growing aggressive plant. The Everglades are under invasion, and it is important to restore this beautiful natural habitat. Which is home to so many animals. Keeping the wildlife and lands flowing free throughout Florida is the key. The diverse range of habitats and the subtropical situations all pull together to create this extreme and exotic land. This is the Everglades.